So I've got this content. It kind of used to be on my podcast, my Trailer Music Composers podcast, and I used to love doing it, where I'd grab my phone and I'd go for a walk in the woods and I would talk to you about whatever, whether it was a specific question or even just something that was on my mind or something that was happening this week. So for those of you who listen to the Trailer Music Composers podcast, you've probably noticed that I haven't done anything on it for some time. I think since October, and it's now May. There's been a huge amount of change in my life recently, and that's not just turning 40 and, getting this little guy. It's going to focus on him. There we go. Cookie. And, my firstborn turning 10 and moving house and kind of having a bit of a, I don't want to say midlife crisis, I suppose it is, where I've been kind of lost as to what I want, where I want to go with my work. I'd kind of achieved a lot of the things I wanted to achieve. And in that case, it was earning a decent living from writing music, and I've got a very big back catalogue which still brings in money, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I felt a bit lost. A lot of that came off the back of Blue Pearl and Protégé not going the way I had hoped, and numerous other things. So I took some time off. I've still been doing tutorials, still been writing music, but I guess I'd kind of checked out in my mind. And one of the easiest ways for me to check out was step away from social media and step away from broadcasting. Not like the BBC, but the podcasts where I would talk to you. And I feel like I've got the space here to return, to come back. I've sort of dipped my toes a little bit. I did that kind of thing about perhaps starting a new podcast called Sounds and Tracks and doing more long form stuff. And what I was kind of doing there was saying that I miss talking to you. Talking to myself. Yes, I miss talking to myself. Because actually I think the way I process things is to talk to myself. And over the last 6 months, I've still been recording those episodes where I talk to you on the phone while I walk around as a way to digest things. I just haven't published them because I thought I need to keep this stuff to myself for now. And I want to come back to this. You may have noticed that I've been doing more social media posts, which I'm really, really enjoying, and it's really nice to kind of put my stuff out there again and start to bring the focus back to my passion, which isn't just writing music. I love writing music, but one of the things I love about writing music is problem solving, and solving those problems for not just myself but for other people, so that when you're asked by a library to produce a certain type of track, I can help. I hope. Because I've been there. I get asked to produce a certain type of track and my mind goes, oh, how do I do that? So I problem solve. And for me, creating music is solving a problem. How do you translate this into that? And it's really nice just to talk to you like this, about this. So there's a lot of changes happening in regard to my courses and things like that. Because I don't know whether you know, but I have 28 courses. And part of the reasons why I've been quite quiet over the last year or so is because I've been trying to figure out the best way to present 28 courses. I spent so many hours doing sales pages, taking them down, uploading the courses to other platforms, taking it down, just like completely wasting my time. But I'm trying to solve the problem of the best way to present my experience and my knowledge. And I think I've found it. I think what I'm going to start to do is condense. Because one of the issues I found was that I found it really difficult to know what to teach, what to say. Because say, if it was just teaching the trailer, if I was just selling the trailer music course, just that, it's just like, well, I just keep doing trailer music podcasts and trailer music focused stuff. But then those of you who know, you dive into trailer music and you go, oh, wait a second, you can actually do synthwave trailer music. You can actually do all these other subgenres of trailer music. And also, the trailer music output then crosses the boundaries into advertising and into sports promos. And all of a sudden I go, whoa, this is like a lot of stuff. Because my experience isn't just in trailer music. I was writing for advertising for ages before trailer music became my thing. And included in that was writing for TV promos and sports promos, global brand advertisements. It was a lot of fun, and it involved a lot of the same skill sets, and that's what a lot of my courses actually are, is courses focused on advertising. So then I go, okay, well, I'm not just teaching trailer music. And here comes the problem, right? So I go, I'm going to focus all in on the trailer music. I set up the trailer music school, the trailer music podcast. And then I go, but some of this stuff doesn't fit into trailer music. So I then go back to my YouTube channel, Richard Bryn, where I teach, horror music, even though you can do horror trailer music, but it's not always the same thing. And then I go, oh, wait a second, but then there's other stuff. And then I start to sort of spread myself too thin. 28 courses. I think I've got 10 YouTube channels. It was very silly of me to do all this. I could have just kept it at one YouTube channel. But, you live and you learn. So what do I want to do is, I want to find the best way to help, not just you, but also me, obviously. Because I don't want to stress myself out by having 28 courses to sell individually and have 28 freebies that go to 28 separate landing pages. I just want to say, look, if you want to learn from me, here are my courses. Here's my coaching. Here's my premium package. Here's my budget package. That's what I want. I want it to be easy for you and easy for me. Because up until now, I've just been stressing. so much stressing over this idea of, well, what am I? It's a bit like that scene in Zoolander, when he falls down, he's like, who am I? I'm not just a trailer music composer. I've been writing for advertising all this whole time. Even though it crosses the same boundaries, I'm still to this day doing sports promos. Even though the music you're creating is kind of similar, the outgoing elements are different. A lot of you find me through getting a brief from a library or a publisher and then going, how do I do that? Search, how to write horror music. Oh, there's Rich. Ta-da! And I think I want to have a clear path, a clear learning path. And I think part of that is me doing this stuff, talking out loud to you. Just chatting, because I want you to get to know me so that you trust what I do and trust my intentions, really. Obviously I want to make money through my courses and I'm not going to give them away for free. When I first started out, I launched my trailer music course on Udemy and people could buy it for like $5. And the thing I found there was when someone gets the course for $5, it's a throwaway thing. So they'd do like the first video, which is me saying, hi, I'm Rich. And they'd give me 1 star. And it would just be like, all of a sudden, because you get that 1 star, the visibility of it changes. And then I had lots of people emailing me saying, or messaging me saying, look, this is so too cheap. So then I upped the price, and some people were like, it's too expensive. But what I have noticed is when people pay more for a course, they respect the time that they are going to have to put into it, as well as the time that was put into it. And this isn't me saying I'm going to up my prices so they're, incredibly expensive. My prices have been quite high up until this point because I learnt that when people pay little, they are far more easily or far more likely to complain. So there's the thing. Okay, I'm going to bundle all my courses, and it's going to be this trailer advertising kind of sync-focused courses. Because also I love making courses. It's a lot of fun. And I want to kind of go, well, okay, here's my product, my courses here, right? If I create another one, I'm just going to plop it in there. And that bundle just grows in value. I think that's the aim. And the other element I want is, this was one of my favourite things about Protege, was the fact that there was accountability. People had to turn up every week, do the course and submit a track. I loved that. Because you know what? The courses I created got watched from start to finish. And that was fantastic. The completion rates were fantastic. I mean, that was probably also because it was a high price point for Protege. And I want to bring that back. Not Protege, I want to bring that accountability. So there is something exciting coming. And it's going to be a small offering, i.e. there's not going to be many people that will be able to do it because I'm going to limit the numbers. There's going to be my bundle of courses, then there's going to be the kind of like accountability side of it, which is where you'll get the bundle of courses and then you'll work with me through the courses to produce work. Because I would much rather see these courses being used for their purpose, which is to teach you how to write music like this. So it's all, the picture for me is all starting to come together more and more. And I think these videos are part of it. I also love doing my silly skits, although I do get quite a bit of flack for the jokes being terrible. If any of you have done my courses or spoken to me or heard me speak, you know I have a pretty bad sense of humour. And I love just making jokes. So it's all kind of combining, and I think... Oh, kitten's back. Meow. I think I want to streamline everything more. I love all this content. I don't like having multiple channels. I love all these courses, but I don't like having to sell each individual course. And I love having all of this different music, but I don't like having to find a home for it all. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I am adjusting my output and my content. You've already started seeing it, but yeah. And I love these long form videos, which I will probably put as podcast episodes back on the Trailer Music Composers podcast. Because I struggled so long with the name of that. Do I keep the podcast? Do I change the name of the podcast? Just overthinking everything. Trying to problem solve. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you got any thoughts, just let me know. But yeah, it feels quite exciting, and I'm looking forward to sharing this all with you.